Welcome back to Inside the Green Room with Danny Green. I'm Harrison Sanford.
Yeah.
You know who's in the building with us, Danny? You see your guy?
The one and only, the legend,
here.
Dudley.
I'm here. It's gonna be a good show.
Oh, man.
Yeah, fresh cut and everything.
I had to. Y'all called me at midnight. Y'all gonna put me on Spectrum looking crazy. That's one thing that's not happening.
I got the same call. I wasn't fortunate enough to get a cut. So, yeah, I got to wear the hat.
We thank you for toughing it out. Well, yeah, speaking of the hat, though, before we get to the question for Jared. Jared, you know what somebody told us the other day? It said, if Danny could play basketball wearing his hat backwards, he would.
Oh, for sure. For sure. I mean, Bron could wear a do-rag playing. He'd probably wear his do-rag.
Danny had a very unique way of wearing his hat, how it just subtly touches the fro. And his fro gets bigger and bigger even by the month, and the hat gets higher and higher, but hey, it fits him.
Yeah.
It fits him.
It's different, man. It said per haircut.
Yes.
When it was lower, the hat, now it's higher, so I can only wear it a certain way for it.
You always got it at a perfect tilt, too.
I mean, you know New Yorkers, man, you know how to wear a hat.
Yeah.
We used to wear them crazy back in the day.
Yeah.
They weren't even on half the time. They're just near us.
Yeah, there you go. Well, wait, hold on. How many hats? You must own at least 300
I used to have a lot. I downsized as I got older over the years. I got rid of a lot of them. And each year I clean out the closet, not just clothes, but hats too, and try to limit to as many as I have.
How many do you have?
Over the years it was fitteds, then it was snapbacks, then it became dad hats, and then it was a mix of all. I got rid of all the fitteds kind of thing, did snapbacks and dad hats. Not many more snaps, mostly dad hats.
How many do you have?
If I had to
Admit it.
guess, I would say 40?
No way. I've seen more than 4. Okay, we're not doing this.
40 to 50?
No
40 to
way.
50, we'll say that.
Lies.
Okay.
You've definitely seen him with more than
I've
40.
seen him with a lot of dad hats. I mean, but with him, you just don't know. I mean, he says he gives them away. He says, he clears them out. So I'd say most athletes would go through about 100, 150 when it comes to shoes, and then you restock, you throw away, you give away, and so you never can really have a right number.
Okay.
Yeah.
Every picture Danny's ever taken it.
I stay
Most of
consistent.
them have hats.
I stay consistent, though. I usually wear a Puma hat now, stick to my Puma hats, or Inside the Green Room hat.
Yep.
Or a couple
Get your
random
merch, get your merch.
cartoon hats that I have. Speaking of cartoons, I learned some interesting news about you. I've always learned about my teammates as we bring them on the set. Growing up in San Diego, I heard you never watched cartoons as a child, as a kid.
Was never a fan of cartoons, always into sports. You can ask my mom, who's obviously raised me and my brother growing up. It's when I was in the morning time was baseball, football, basketball. Now, have I ever watched cartoons? Yes, but I wasn't that kid that, hey, Mom, put the cartoons on.
Okay.
Put Ninja Turtles or Scooby-Doo is more a sports, and so that's why I played all sports growing up.
Okay.
And my son's like that now. My son doesn't even watch cartoons
So
now.
no Cartoon Network in the house?
No Cartoon Network in the house.
Wow.
That's interesting, man.
It is interesting.
I mean, I would say kind of the same. I watched cartoons.
I know you did.
Very short stint, though, like a short stint, because mostly it was sports, and my dad was a big movie buff, so I watched a lot of movies I wasn't supposed to watch at an early age, and I learned a lot about life and real fast in the household because of the movies.
I also have an older brother, 7.5 years older.
Okay.
Growing up, you got one TV.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
You ain't
so
getting too many girls, so he ain't watching Scooby-Doo when he's 12 and I'm 6.
Yeah,
something
that
like
makes
that,
sense.
Okay, now it's starting to come full circle now. Speaking of growing up in San Diego,
Yes.
I have to assume that you were a Lakers fan and a Chargers fan.
Mom was a huge Laker fan. My dad's from Wilmington, where Jordan's from, huge Bulls fan. So at that time, let's be honest, you're gonna go with your dad. And Michael Jordan at that time. Obviously, like my mom loved the Lakers. She still today wants to meet James Worthy. So hopefully I can hook that up for her.
Yeah, he works in the studio.
He works here. We can, But no, I mean, so for San Diego, Chargers fan. I definitely watch Padres. Chargers have now gone to LA. We'll talk about that. But no, huge fan.
Sorry to cut.
Yeah.
What are you doing over there, Danny?
I'm trying to drink some water,
Oh.
but yeah, they don't sponsor us. Can't keep them on here,
Go on, man.
They're
They're not paying for a sponsorship.
not, yeah.
Back to regularly scheduled programming.
Yes.
So, okay, so now.
Gotta be conscious of that now.
Yeah. Shout out to KL2.
Yeah, big dog. Actually,
Yeah.
just saw him too in Cabo.
Oh, word. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't get to see any of my teammates. It was crazy. We set up this whole All-Star break Cabo trip, and then everybody kind of did their own thing. We figured at some point we'd connect just to link, but I never got. We were there. Mind you, I lost today.
I know.
Passport issues. I told you.
You lost your passport. You
I
bring
didn't
your
lose my passport. I just didn't pack accordingly. But yeah, I saw KO too. He's staying at
the Cabo Lakers.
Yeah.
70% of the team of Cabo was in Cabo this past weekend.
I do want to talk about where else you went for vacation as well, but real quick.
Yeah.
So are you still a Chargers fan?
I am not a Charger fan.
Okay.
And it hurts me.
Were you a Chargers fan in San Diego?
Yes, I was. But then once they moved to LA, now I know I'm a Lakers fan. The thing about San Diego is San Diego has a little brother, big brother rivalry with LA. It happens to me when I was growing up trying to get a scholarship. The LA kids got more notoriety, as they should. I mean, obviously, LA is more known for sports, but I mean, when I was growing up with LA Raiders, playing against the San Diego Chargers. Now you're going to be the LA Chargers. It was Carson. LA doesn't even want you. Ice Cube don't even want the Lakers. You heard? I mean, not the Lakers. They want the Chargers. I mean, for me, that owner, you could tell he wanted to get out of there. If it would have been the Vegas, I would have been their Vegas Chargers just because something different. But LA is like San Diego. We've been battling for years, and now we're going to join and be the little stepbrother. No, it's like the Clippers. It's like the stepbrothers. Come on, man. There you go.
We are going to talk about the Clippers. We are going to talk about the Clippers as well. Save that. Before we go there, though, Danny, I know we've enjoyed our 2 years of podcasting and your entry into the media.
Yes.
Year and a half?
Yeah,
No, it's like 2 years, bro.
No, we started summer a year, so yeah.
Okay.
We're still not summer yet, so we're about 6 months from summer.
There you go, year and a half, good call. Okay. You got that, you got me. But Mr. Dudley over here got his start in media very early.
Very early.
You can tell, man. I didn't know this.
Oh, no, and he's been very good.
Okay.
And I want to give you a quick snippet of how he got started back when he was in Phoenix.
Let me see this. Let me see if I've improved.
What's good? It's your boy Jared Dudley here, JMZ, aka JSPN. The topic of the day is the Power Balance Bracelet. Zoom in here. Right now, it's the hottest thing the new athletes is wearing. You can see Derrick Rose in the playoffs. Actually, he's now gone fishing, so you won't see Derrick Rose.
So, did I hear JSPN? Was that the name?
You can't do ESPN. People try to sue you nowadays. They come to the rights. And I was using that is when I first when it was Cold Pizza, First Take to get on these different shows. And at that time, we had Steve and Shaq, and really Shaq was putting me on to, getting your brand out there. He's the one who put me on to Twitter when he was tweeting during halftime during the game. It was crazy. But those power bracelets Steve wore, fast forward or rewind, I think they got sued for how false it was, so I just gave them some free publicity.
Wow.
Yes, they got sued and they banned all NBA players from wearing it.
I remember those bands. I don't remember them being sued. It's crazy, but I do remember at that point how big those bands were.
Huge.
And everybody thought it was like, oh, it balances you out.
Yep.
And it's gonna make you, perform at a high level. Unbelievable.
Lies.
Speaking of Twitter. Shaq got you onto Twitter.
Shaq got me on the Twitter.
How come nobody got you on Instagram?
You know what? It's just I was late in that wave.
I was late too.
I was late in that wave and then getting your followers. I mean, if I would have been on the Lakers 10 years ago, I'd have 5 million followers, where Laker Nation is. Shout out to Laker Nation. But no, you know what? It's something that I just feel like for me, life after basketball, if it's coaching, GM, working in the media, to be able to connect with fans, connect with, if I wanted to go on hotels, vacations, I can get to that person through Twitter, through one tweet, getting into it. And Instagram is more of a branding, and maybe I missed out on that, but Twitter I'm still going strong there.
Coming over to the dark side.
Come on, dark side.
I don't think it's never too late, man.
It's never too late.
I was forced on by a teammate in San Antonio, DeJuan Blair, actually. He's like, no, we got to make you an account, bro. Like, you got to get on it.
Get on.
And then I was like, I wasn't big, even Twitter, same thing.
Right.
I kind of got a friend of mine, I was like, I wasn't big on it. But once I got on, I was like, all right, I understand, keeps me connected. But Twitter, I still use Twitter very much so to keep my updates, news. I get most of my news and stuff. I still get updates from Instagram, but Twitter, I think gets everything kind of first. So, coming up next on Inside the Green Room.
Kobe was the best player in the world. He was hitting shots that were unbelievable. We were doubling, tripling him. He's smacking our coach Alvin Gentry in the butt, running down.
Remember, there was a popular show on MTV where you get to check out somebody's how they live.
Cribs.
Yes.
MTV
So
Cribs.
Mr. Dudley also did that as well back in his day.
Did he?
Oh yes.
I'm well-rounded.
We have another clip for you.
Here we go. It's Flashback Friday.
We are live. Twitter Cribs with Channing Frye. I told you, when you mess with JMZ, Twitter Cribs, you get the exclusive coverage. Let's go check it out.
Fans were loving this. Little Tuscan.
This is the
JMZ.
exclusive coverage with JMZ.
I was going to people's
JMZ.
cribs. Robin Lopez, who's now in the Milwaukee Bucks, had a Disney-themed house. You go into his guest room, which when most people would be a guest room, he had the Disney little action figure. You ever seen the movie 40-Year-Old Virgin? Yeah. The 25-year-old virgin walking around. That's how it was. You know, he had these little action figures over there. He had the comic books where most athletes had shoes, 1,000 shoes. He had comic books that were sealed. And all I was thinking, it was just like, man, like if I was 6 years old, I would love this crib. It's fascinating even now. If you fast forward to now, him and his brother own a house next to Disney World. There's like 20 homes in this gated community. They're one of the 20, and they go to Disney World. So he's going strong over there.
Crazy.
What type of phone were you using for those JSPN
I
Cribs
don't even think
editions?
it was the iPhone, because the iPhone is only up to, we were at 7 now. I'm trying to think. So back then, that was year 3. That was like 10 years ago. I was just regular.
BlackBerry?
Yeah. It wasn't a BlackBerry. It wasn't a BlackBerry. I don't know what.
Sidekick?
Regular, maybe.
Nextel?
Not Sidekick. Nextel. Nah. That was college. No. But it's a regular one that had camera. But fans were on that. It's like right now, you know, fans are gonna love this right here. You know, behind the scenes with what the Lakers are, and what, especially me and him, we don't care. We'll tell you everything.
There you go.
Pretty much, man. And as I'm seeing the footage and I've seen your growth, I think Instagram is for you.
Yes.
I think
Instagram.
we can get them on. Especially that now you're a Laker, now you'll get a ton of fans quickly.
For sure.
And those videos like that, I
Yes.
said Dwight does some here and there. Bron does some, of course. He does his
Right.
Taco Tuesday. But your energy, man, unmatched, bro. I think the stuff you can bring to the table for Instagram and for our team, I think we need it. I think the fans need it. They're probably gonna start a petition now
Petitioning for me.
to get you on Instagram.
And then on top of the Cribs, on top of the little JSPN, he had a little stint. You remember going to Impact Basketball and interviewing a bunch of guys in Vegas?
This was lockout year.
Yep. Remember this?
Look.
Oh,
Look.
wow.
Young Jared right there.
Wow.
Here.
Getting your reps up. As a media type, I could appreciate you getting your reps in.
Look at that. I've been in the game a long time. Look at my hair. Look at my waves. Come on,
You had
man.
the thick hair back then,
Come
bro.
on. He's growing it out. Look at And this was what big for us. This is when players really came together. Summertime. LeBron was playing these little charity games. Impact was doing these leagues. We were trying to stay in shape, trying to go. And to interview Steph and guys come through, man, that was big time.
Wow.
I've been in the game for a while now.
I miss all this, man. It's crazy.
Jared be getting his reps in.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Gotta salute it. For real.
So
for
when
real.
you're done, all said and done, this is something.
You know what I thought early in the career would be? I'm looking at these head coaches and these GMs and saying, why can't I do that? I done played with Shaq, Steve, LeBron, now the young generation, Bradley Beal, Giannis, Devin Booker. And so I just feel like when it comes to being a head coach for relationships, knowing what the player is, knowing rest, knowing how to communicate with your stars, being a GM, knowing when to make a trade, win chemistry, and that's why we'll get in later. I'm glad the Lakers didn't make any trades, didn't do anything, because you can't simulate chemistry. And our chemistry is, in my 13 years, if it's not the best, my other team that was similar was the Phoenix Suns 2010, and we lost in the Western Conference Finals to the Lakers. So it's hard to beat that. I just plugged you guys in. I just give you a little.
Well, see, this is how you know you're a media type, because
Yes.
on our little rundowns here,
Yes.
we did want to talk about 2010.
For sure.
Dan, you remember watching that, right? You were in the league by then.
In 2010, yes,
Yeah.
but I was kind of in and out. Yeah, if that makes sense.
You were Cleveland back then?
I drafted in 09. My
Yep.
rookie year was 09-010.
Oh, so yeah, that's the year that LeBron left Cleveland.
Yes, the decision happened that summer.
Gotcha.
We beat the Spurs, swept them 4-0, and that's when I thought, finally, Steve Nash was crying in the locker room. We finally got past the hurdle. Popovich, great coach he is, came in congratulating him for finally getting over the hurdle. I thought the Spurs were done. They were talking about how old they were 10 years ago. That was 10 years ago.
Wow.
And then they made the Kawhi trade for George Hill, and look at them. And I know now they took a step back, but even then, they've won championships since then. And you could have never told me that 2010, we swept them second round to go to the Western Conference Finals. Man, it's amazing.
So that Western Conference Finals, you beat the Spurs now. So now I'm assuming you're on a high.
Super high.
And unfortunately, Jared, there is a clip that we have to relive, and I would love your vantage point on it.
Okay, let me see this.
Back in Staples Center, you give us the play-by-play.
The play-by-play is we know the ball. Everyone in the world knows it's going to Kobe. I'm in the game defensively. We were going to double him off the inbound. And we just think it's really only one shot. He catches it, shoots a fadeaway, shoots an air ball, and Ron Artest, God bless Ron Artest, he catches an air ball and throws it up for a bank shot. Who's even thinking Kobe's gonna air ball? No one's thinking Kobe's gonna air ball. I'm looking at the rim to see where it's gonna bounce off because you can tell by the trajectory. And I can't even tell it's gonna be air ball. You're not even thinking, and he got it. That's the series that I thought we had a chance, because if you win that game, he misses that shot, we go up 3-2. Back home, we were beating them by like 15 points at home, blowing them out, and it was basically size versus speed. We were shooting tons of threes, and at that time that's how the game is played now. But I mean, I wasn't a Laker fan then, but I'm glad I'm with them now.
Wow, man, that's tough.
Yes.
That was a tough one. I remember that. And so I remember watching Ron and Lamar, both of them New York guys growing up. They played for my AU team, so.
Kobe was unreal that series. I mean, let's just be honest. To me, at that time, Kobe was the best player in the world. He was hitting shots that were unbelievable. We were doubling, tripling him. He's smacking our coach Alvin Gentry in the butt, running down. He's doing that. We couldn't stop him. We tried to play zone back then. They weren't even playing zone. We were the first team trying to play zone. He was just shooting threes from over. And this is back then where I replayed the games, we were fouling him, bodying him. They didn't call it. Now, he would have shot 100 free throws. You think Harden?
Yeah.
And so I'm looking at Kobe, who might have averaged 39. At that series, he would average 50 because literally they were fouling us, and that's when basketball, I feel, was at its purest. Like, listen, you got to play through contact. When you were 5-on-5, when fans, you go to Venice Park and you're playing, you're not flopping and getting the head, going and shooting at the free throw line. That's why I feel like the game has changed. I'm not gonna say for the worse, but I feel like it's a better flow when people, you're gonna get fouled. It's a basketball game.
The game has definitely changed to honor the offense. You're pretty much not allowed to play defense. Not allowed, but it's very hard to play defense. You can't really touch anybody anymore. You can't get physical. But guys are smart. They're getting smarter with learning how to use their body, and that's definitely a skill that James does. Harden, he is a skill, but it is tough to play that way. It's tough to guard, and it's tough to watch for some people. Old school players, old school people like to watch, good, hard, old school basketball where they can get, there's a clothesline here and there, and they're not ejecting people.
A little touch up.
I've seen people get ejected for some of the craziest things these years, man. It's unbelievable.
Me? Well, my ejection.
We're gonna talk about your. We're gonna talk about your altercation. We got some time. We got time for you.
Okay. Okay.
Coming up next on Inside the Green Room.
There's no way D. Wade can be a judge in Chicago with his ex-teammate being in a dunk competition.
Say it.
You have that. I'll say it. Listen, hey. And so
that was a deciding factor.
That was a deciding factor when they all thought it should be a tie, and he switches the score at the end. And so, hey, and I ain't gonna lie, I probably would do it for my teammate too. This impacted the world. It wasn't just lost in the Lakers. I mean, Kobe was an icon of what he was. People don't understand how he fought homeless in LA. There's a lot of stuff that Kobe did that was beyond basketball. Him being a coach, obviously him winning the awards after done playing. I mean, for me to be able to compete versus him, there's interviews that you could look back on. He was the hardest person to guard. And that's probably one of his least best feats that he's had throughout his career, man. So it's definitely tough, and I think that memorial will help people start the process of mourning his death.
We've actually gotten some pretty good comments, Danny and Jared, in regards to that Kobe Bryant tribute episode we did.
We did.
We released it not too long ago, but there's one thing I've said to people who've said that we did a good job with the show. Kobe made it so easy.
For sure.
to relive his life and relive his work. So hope you guys go back and watch that if you have a chance.
Yes, Phil and Quinn did a great job.
Yeah, they were great. Yeah, they were great. And obviously, I want to talk about how he was honored at All-Star weekend as well. But before we do that, you mentioned you were in the Caribbean.
Yes.
So you posted a video on your Twitter.
Okay.
We're gonna roll another video. I would love for you to give me.
Videos here, man.
Yeah, we do.
Come on, man.
We're on TV now, Danny. We could roll some videos.
It's like the Jared room. Come on, man. Let's get it.
Let's go, Lakers! Let's go, Lakers!
You can imagine that at a bachelor party. And I'm sitting down eating. Kate Hudson is to my left eating. And literally, when I walk in, this is Laker Nation. This is Laker Nation. I'm not even saying this because I'm a Laker. It's one of the most powerful brands in sports. Yankees, Cowboys, there's fans everywhere. And I don't even think, some of them were from LA, some of them weren't from LA, and they were loud and they were bugging me throughout the whole weekend. I saw them throw it there, but it was all love. I sent them 25 shots and helped them going on, but no, man, it's definitely love.
That's amazing, man.
That is a good way to start to have an all-star.
It is a good way to start the trip,
Yes.
man.
For sure, for them, yes.
Danny, do you remember how you started the trip? We have a photo from it.
I did. This is purposely. The trip started off pretty good. Then midway through, kind of got deterred a little bit. But
Give me the starting point.
went to Indiana.
Yes.
To Bloomington, Indiana, to watch my younger brother play. He's a senior this year, and I went to go see him. I think early, it may have been his sophomore year.
You with OG too, right?
Yeah, OG. I talked to OG a week prior, and he was like, "Yeah," and I told him, I said, "I'm going to Bloomington." He said, "When you going?" And I said, "The 13th. I'll be there. They play Iowa." He goes, "All right, I'm gonna come through." And I never take OG this serious. I don't know for sure if he's really gonna show up, but he was there. A couple of his other teammates were there. Got a chance to kick it with him, hang out, watch Devontae play. He played really well too. He shot lights out, and they got a big win.
We got to talk about that OG. Was that not the funniest clip between him and Serge? He said, "I put you on." What did he say? He said, "Valentino."
What about scarves?
What about scarves?
What about scarves?
What about scarves? What about scarves?
That's OG though.
Is it him?
That's OG. Yo.
I couldn't tell if he was serious or joking.
We'll have him on the show, and you'll get to see his personality.
Yeah,
He's quiet.
he's unique.
He's quiet.
I put you on.
The character, yo. He's definitely unique. And the glasses that he wears, those are prescription. But every time I see him, like, dude, you know you're not blind.
Come on.
Those are not prescriptions. Like we talked about this. These are prescriptions.
Yeah.
I was in Chicago while you guys, for the most part, in warm temperatures.
Yeah.
All-star game. The guys played hard, which was great.
It was great to see.
It was.
And they had the Elam ending with the target score. Time was there was no time on the clock. Just get to the score first. And you guys, I'm sure you guys watched. What was your impression of that Elam ending? And would you like to see it implemented? I'm sure it won't go to the NBA regular season games first, but maybe in the G League and things of that nature, summer league.
I really believe that people wanted to honor Kobe. You saw Chris Paul talk about it, of competing. I think Giannis and some of these new players are trying to go at some of these old veteran stars and kind of make their name for it. So they're adding a new, hey, let's attack, let's play hard. Embiid. You saw LeBron try to end it with that deep three. You knew that was going to happen. I just thought it was excitement. I mean, the traditionalists of we're in a different wave and a different age of, hey, we have to bring excitement. So a lot of stuff on TV, YouTube, TikTok, everybody doing 100 different things. And I think that we have to do that. That's why I think next year, the in-game season tournament that players want, we need to be the stars to play against the stars and more stuff like that. But I loved it. I'm a fan of it. I'm a fan of, playing, LeBron and Giannis picking their teams. I love seeing that. I want to know who gets picked last. Is he going to be pissed? Who picked first? I think it's great for TV.
Then you want to play with the Elam ending?
I think it's great for all-star games.
Yes.
I don't know about any other games.
Summer league?
Maybe summer league. Maybe some type of G League. Whatever, maybe in the tournaments. They're talking about implementing different tournaments throughout the year. That could be a possibility. I haven't watched the All-Star game since I was a kid, though. And luckily, thankfully, I was in Cabo. I was eating dinner with a good friend, Marvin Williams. I can't call him a teammate.
Oh, why? Yeah.
But Carolina alum. Everybody was there. I said,
why didn't you bring Marvin over to? That's what Lakers wanted. Lakers fans wanted. I'm sorry.
I didn't get a chance to. I didn't know the whole process happened fast.
Okay, I'm sorry. We'll talk about the buyout stuff.
But
later.
I got a chance to talk to him then and see how the situation was going on with Charlotte, because James Borrego was a guy with me in San Antonio, was his coach. He loved JB. He loved just how things worked out for him, how things situated, what teams came into play. But he had the game on because he's supporting Kemba. He's watching Kemba Walker. They're tight.
Right.
And his daughter knows Kemba, like his kids. And I got a chance to actually meet his new daughter. And he asked me about the whole Kobe situation. He said his household was in a bad place during that time. Like they were kind of messed up, especially because he has two daughters now. But we watched the game, and I'm glad he made me watch it, because it was good to watch. It was entertaining, and we stayed at his house longer to finish watching the game. That's how good it was.
Yep.
And it was entertaining, it was exciting, and guys were getting after it. And Giannis is the type of guy, he's going to get after it regardless. He just plays hard and serious all the time.
He don't care about getting dunked on.
Not at all.
He's not worried about
He's
ESPN.
in a block shot.
Yep.
But it was good to see all those guys get out, get after it, get after each other out there, and actually, play for something. And good cause, charity too. All the money that goes to charity was great. To see them honor Kobe the right way, and see guys compete. And in a good, healthy, nobody get hurt type of way, have fun, and it was all fun and games, and guys make good plays. So I'm glad I watched it this year, and I like the format to be implemented in other things, but I don't know about our game.
It was all fine and well Sunday night. Saturday night, though, I'm not too sure. Not too sure, Danny.
What happened Saturday? I didn't get to watch Saturday night. I said I was traveling most of the day Saturday.
Did you watch the slam dunk competition?
I watched it.
The dunk competition?
Aaron Gordon.
Yeah, Aaron Gordon.
I saw the highlights. I didn't get a chance to watch it live.
I mean, for one, Aaron Gordon, I think, started with 4 50s.
Okay.
Yep. He went 5 straight 50s.
Yes, five straight. So he had 4, and I mean, he's had 2 of the top 5 or 6 best dunks in NBA history.
Yeah.
And so DJ, who I was a teammate of mine, had him in Phoenix with me. I mean, he did some incredible dunks. It was just the same dunk 3 different ways. And so you hate to see it. Let's just be honest. There's no way, and I love D-Wade, there's no way D-Wade can be a judge in Chicago with his ex-teammate being in a dunk competition.
Say it.
You have that. I'll say it. Listen, hey. And so
that was a deciding factor.
That was a deciding factor when they all thought it should be a tie, and he switches the score at the end. And so, hey, I ain't gonna lie, I probably would do it for my teammate too. So I get it. I'm not mad at him from a teammate. I'm mad at it for we're now having someone like Aaron Gordon, who probably will never be in a dunk contest. And we need that dunk contest, which this was one of the best ones since the Zach LaVine and him. And he's been involved in both of them. And arguably could have been robbed. I'm giving it to him just because it was 50-50 in the Zach LaVine. We got to give it to him now.
Yep.
So the league put D-Wade in a bad position.
Put him in a bad position.
Yeah, he did right by his teammate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Some very good dunks, though. I did see the highlights.
Yes.
Some very good dunks.
Fire.
Crazy.
Aaron does deserve a trophy. He did deserve a trophy at some point.
did.
I mean, he's not going to do it again. He said he's going to try the three-point contest now.
Who?
That's what he
Aaron.
said, right? He said
Ain't
skills challenge. Skills challenge.
Man. Skills challenge. Man, come on. He didn't say
Three-point
that.
contest is
Come
different
on,
now.
man.
I saw that they're doing the 4-point.
Yeah.
That
We need to
was
get you
different.
back in the mix, my G.
He won't go on
Get you back in the
vacation. He ain't
Next
worried
year,
about
next
no-
year.
he on vacation.
I like the Cabo. I like to take my time away, see my brother play.
Yeah, that sounds like a great vacation to me.
So next year, we'll get a chance. Hopefully, I'll shoot better, and we'll be here in Lakers. We'll be here in LA again, and we'll continue to win. They should have had KCP in it again. I'm upset that they didn't have my guy in it. But hopefully we'll have a Laker in there next year doing every challenge. We got a skills challenge. We had Dwight in the dunk contest, who I think did very well.
Yes, he did get a lot of credit for his one 360.
Yeah.
That was a lot
That was
better
dope.
than
That was
people
dope, yeah.
rated him
Honored
for.
Kobe. So he
just
did well.
7
So we need a guy in the dunk contest. We need a guy in skills challenge, three-point contest, and a couple All-Stars. And not just 2. We'll probably hopefully get a third in next year. It'd be nice. Coming up next on Inside the Green Room.
It's guys like myself, it's guys like Avery Bradley, Rondo, Danny Green, we're the captains behind the captains. That we're serving the everyday basis. So guys like LeBron and AD, they lock in because we're going to need you to play 45 minutes and all those numbers.
And LeBron has been vocal about this Astros controversy, but Jared, LeBron's also referred to you as one of his favorite teammates of all time. So what are you doing behind this? Yeah, what are you doing behind the scenes? Are you like another what's going on here?
We're both the
get
same
you?
age.
Okay.
34, 35. Similar situations, married with kids. He's got obviously 3 kids. I have 3 kids. He's a little bit older. So when it comes to a similar background, I played against her for a long time. But when it comes to dinners, when it comes to conversations, the Nike people are around. Like I'm interested in media with you guys. I'm interested in the business of Nike, how you questions and how you carry yourself. LeBron's just like us. He's no different, bro. He's a cool dude. He cracks jokes. He drinks wine, has a good time. And so we treat him that way. We don't treat him any different. We clown him. He clowns us. We move on. And so for me, it's just when you're someone on that level, the Jay-Z, the Obamas, you just want someone that's a regular around you, have a good time. And so for me, we just have a good time. He plays cards, I play cards. When he owes me money, I owe him money.
Don't let him downplay it though. Duds is the ultimate teammate.
Oh, for sure.
On and off the court. He's a great locker room guy. Great energy, brings it professional, always professional. I said, but has a good time and knows how to have his teammates back on the court, off the court as well. Make sure everybody's together. Make sure he's kind of the glue, and making sure everybody, even on vacation, let me see how y'all living. Let's see the pictures. Let's see videos. Let me see your view of your balcony, wherever you're at. See what your feet, kick your feet up. Let me see. So he's making sure everybody's together, make sure everybody's on the same page. We're doing this team thing, and he makes it. So that's why LeBron doesn't have to do all the organizing, and he's, and he has a lot of connects too. So a lot of times Duds is handling that stuff that Bron doesn't have to do, and makes it easier for Bron. So that's why he's everybody's favorite team.
We all have a role in this team. We all can't play 30 minutes. You saw the Kobe highlights. I'm guarding him. He had torched me for 35. And that's what fans don't realize. There's a reason why I've been in business 13 years. I'm going to play a couple more years because everyone, Danny Green, clutch shots. And for me, it's, hey, when to stay ready. Hey, maybe I have to get Kuzma to play better. We're going to need Kuzma to pick it up. Maybe I can help the relationship between him and Rondo. Anthony Davis, I need you to take it to the next level. Like, hey, how can we get, because we're getting ready to pick it up another notch. We've been playing first in the West off natural talent. We ain't really locked in. There's 3-4 stages of a season. You have a get to know you stage. And when we got to know each other, we just came out the hot new girlfriend, the new ride. We came out there killing everybody, right? And then now we hit a little adversity. That month we lost 4 in a row. And the good thing about our team, never panicked. Never got too high, never got too low. And then now we're in that little third stage before the playoffs. Like, hey, it's time to set the tone because once we get to the playoffs, we don't need to pick it up again. We're already at that level. And so it's guys like myself, it's guys like Avery Bradley, Rondo, Danny Green, we're the captains behind the captains. That we're serving the everyday basis. So guys like LeBron, AD, they lock in because we're going to need you to play 45 minutes and all those numbers.
Speaking of being a good teammate, I heard about the gift that you got Danny for, what is it called?
Yeah, Christmas. Secret Santa.
Can you let them know what, because I don't know if we talked about it on the show.
For one,
we talked about it briefly.
Did we?
He wasn't here, but we did.
It's so tough to find an NBA player a gift. These rich guys have everything, right? Let's be honest. And so for Danny, I didn't even, trying to get to know Danny. This was in December. I just know that he lives in Manhattan Beach or around that area, that whole coast area, and that him and his girlfriend are obviously close at that time. And so I bought them a little tandem bike, lime green, where you see him cruising, going to the Grand. What's it called? The Strand. My fault, the Strand. Say what's up to him. And it's something that, hey, I think we had a budget of $500. I think it was $700.
$500.
$500.
I heard it was violated.
Minimum.
I heard it was it violated? The $500 mark?
No, because I got him 2 helmets.
Oh,
I got him a little lock.
But
in case,
and it was green, mind you. At this point, he had never seen my car. At this point, he recently just seen my car like a week ago.
How you feel about his car?
Damn, we got to change it.
We got to change it. But I can't even lie. Like, listen, people probably mad at me. I don't even have a car. Like, I had my range. It's been in the shop. I Ubered here. My Uber ratings should be crazy right now. The way how many times I Uber. Yeah.
What did you get?
What did I get? What's it called? The rookie.
Talon had him.
Gave me a Palms Angels, 100 holes,
the
chain
fashion statement. He got him pants with the loops on them, and like a.
He's trying to make me 19.
It looked like
he gonna rock it.
It looked like suspenders mixed with something. It had a bunch of straps on it and
Size
stuff.
waist.
Huh?
Size waist.
36.
I'm almost there.
You want him? I'll fit.
We'll work about.
Yeah.
Speaking of being LeBron's teammate.
Yep.
One of the things that you did do, and I'm wondering if he ever talked to you about this, because you referenced the playoffs.
Okay.
You got a little controversy with Mr. Ben Simmons in the playoffs last year. LeBron never say anything about talking to his little mentee?
Nah, to be honest with you, LeBron has his guys he's cool with, but LeBron knows a certain player, you have to do certain things for your team. And so for me in that time, and so it's so funny, I kind of go back, when LeBron was doing Space Jam, he used to have this court where they Nike or the company built it so he could work out at 6 in the morning and play. And so literally after the playoffs, we're there at 6 in the morning playing. It's me and the Lakers. We had our 5 guys, and we're playing against Draymond, DeRozan, all the different players. And Ben Simmons was one of them. And so Ben Simmons came up to me. We dapped up because players are cool, but there's a certain intensity you have to play with. And so we're the underdog in that series. And so for me, it was a certain intensity of going at not only him, but Joel Embiid, of showing these young guys, hey, this is how you have to play to be able to beat a team that has more talent, that is better than you, they have home court advantage. And so the Ben Simmons was, I know people look at it being disrespectful, it was really complimenting him in his game. He's elite. He's probably top 5 best transition player. He beat us. He killed us this year in transition. But when I got him in the half court, and the numbers will tell you, he shoots a terrible percentage versus me. Because for one, you're not going to overpower me. I'm a smart defender. If he could shoot the ball elite, then obviously I would have to play tight. I can back up, use angles, and so it was funny. But Bron keeps it. No, he didn't really get on me and stuff like that because I thought it was a lot of truth in what I said. I could have gone about it a different way, but forget it.
And he knows the stakes at hand. He knows the playoff. At the end of the day, we're cool, but we're competing. And guys will do anything they need to do to win most of the time, besides cheating.
Yes.
But we're gonna find an edge, man. And then we have to sometimes you have to mentally get into somebody's head or mentally mess with them, talk a little trash here and there. But and they all respect that. And Ben respects that. He knows. He's Australian guy. They're a little chippy at times. They'll give you.
For sure, he definitely chippy.
So he's they're chippy, but he knows, and that's how we play. And in playoff time, they know when it comes down to it, you gotta do whatever it takes, man. And nobody's knocking that, and people respect it more so than anything because you don't see that as much anymore.
No.
Old school guys used to talk trash all the time. Get physical. Now you can barely touch people. You can't get physical. Talk trash anymore, you get in trouble.
Plus, I don't care about a fine. I don't care about a fine.
You don't care about a fine?
People respect that when you actually, when you're not backing down nobody and you actually step up to the challenge and talk trash and people are scared to wake the sleeping bear, poke the bear. But sometimes you need that. Sometimes you need that edge or you need that trash talk. Get yourself going, get your team going. Coming up next on Inside the Green Room, regular season and playoff time is very different. When you're getting close to playoff time, you're going to start playing guys in the minutes that they're probably going to play in playoffs or rotations that's probably going to play in playoffs. So it's easier for us to know where we're going to be, when we're going to be, and what groups we're going to be in, and what we need from each other in those rotations, in those roles. So regular season, it's a little different, especially when we're so deep. Like Jared said, I have to reiterate, I think it's just guys more locking in and focusing on being better in their roles. And I think it's also, the coaches, obviously, the regular season and playoff time is very different. When you're getting close to playoff time, you're gonna start playing guys in the minutes that they're probably gonna play in playoffs or rotations that's probably gonna play in playoffs. So it's easier for us to know where we're gonna be, when we're gonna be, and what groups we're gonna be in, and what we need from each other in those rotations, in those roles. So regular season, it's a little different, especially when we're so deep. I think once that starts tightening up with that, then we can tighten up easier with ourselves individually and as a group. And so I think we have all the pieces we need. And I didn't know he predicted playmaking as being one of the early in the season, that early, because I thought we had plenty of guys that could make plays. But it just said have to be consistent with it. And I think we just need Doe to be more aggressive, like you said, AC to do what he does. But night in, night out, we don't know who's playing where and when, because certain nights, first quarter, AB might be hot. We're playing the whole first quarter. Then somebody's minutes might be thrown off a little bit. KCP, might be playing well or might be struggling, or AC might be struggling. So we don't know. Or Doe might get in foul trouble,
or
2 fouls.
Or Dwight was really good in Denver.
Dwight was really good, and then we need to start him in the second half because he's killing them inside. So it's going game to game. But so when you tighten that up and the coaches tighten up what they want from us, need from us, and the rotations of where we're going to be, probably playing AD at the 5 more. we know we're going to see that much more in the playoffs and closer down the stretch of the season. I think our adjustment, especially to the small ball thing with Houston, I think they played very well the game against us. But do I think in a 7-game series, I think that we probably attack each team. We have enough to attack teams differently. We'll attack that team. We can go bigger with that team and probably win, but we also can go smaller and use our speed as well. Certain teams we can use our speed, certain teams we can use our size. I think we'll probably use our size more. I don't think we took advantage of that as much as we should have against Houston, but that's for the coaches. That's why I don't get paid the big bucks. That's above my pay.
We got options.
We got options, but it's above my pay grade. I don't make those decisions. The coaches will figure that out, and I'm sure that we'll be ready and prepared for us to attack any team, whatever we need, because we have many different styles that we can play with the group that we have.
Danny, you referenced small ball.
Yeah.
Jared, you said that you wanted to take Kyle under your wings, being here. How would you evaluate where he's progressed? Where do you want to see the continued improvement? Because you're on Twitter. You see the wavering between Lakers fans and his performance.
Well, I think people got to realize this, though, too. If you look at all teams LeBron has been on when he's teamed with another superstar, D. Wade, Kyrie, the third person, it takes a while. Now, the difference of those other two people, Bosh and Kevin Love, is they're starting. When Kyle Kuzma starts, he's averaging like 23 points. His field goal percentage is up, his three-point percentage is up. Because for one, you get more options, you get more minutes, you're more in the flow. He's playing behind Anthony Davis. So then now you're limited on, sometimes he plays him at the 3, sometimes we go small ball, but it's never, like if Danny said, a consistent flow, because let's say Anthony Davis plays 12 minutes and has 12 points, it's hard to get in that flow. And we're throwing the ball to him in the post, he demands a double. So for what Kyle has done tremendously if you anybody watch this film, the last 10 games, his rebounding is up almost double. He is crashing the boards, he's rebounding it, he's done playmaking. He's actually playmaking a lot better than he was. Now he's turning the ball over a little bit more, but it's a give or take on, hey, we want to improve this before the playoffs. He's 25 games. Defensively, he's been so much better. We didn't get against Westbrook, not at home, but on the road when we played he's been huge. And so for someone like that who's now, yes, third option, one of our most talented young guys, and now you're coming off the bench with a team where, hey, let's be honest, last year when they play with young guys, it's bad basketball. When you're young, I played on a lot of young teams. You don't play the right way. We play the right way. So he might not get a shot for 5-6 minutes because the ball's been moving, we've been in transition. And so for him is keep with the film, keep your high energy, keep making the right shots, because maybe you only average 12 points this year instead of 17, but we win the championship. You're going to get paid the same amount of money. It's not about these points per game. Let it be those guys who are doing the rookie and sophomore games. They're going to be home April 13th, back where they're from. We have bigger aspirations, and so for him, it's, hey, you're young. To be able to win a championship, have a chance to be able to win it, it's once in a lifetime, man.
I was speaking with Jackie McMillan of ESPN when I was at All-Star, and she talked about Rondo, another guy who's very much trending on Lakers Twitter.
Yes.
And you said you wanted him to be more aggressive, Danny. You've mentioned that as well. How the conversations go with him. Again, it's the second half of the season. You're still the first seed in the West. But I would be remiss to not say almost every Laker fan wants more from Rondo. Because it seems as if Rondo is the guy as another playmaking option.
For sure. No, I think it's understandable. I think it's crazy that Rondo, I'm one of the most closest person to Rondo. It's funny because he's my gambling guy. He's I hang out with. He's quiet, but he's not quiet. This guy, between him and Cousins, that's one of the most hidden relationships. It's hilarious, them two going at each other. I would say the thing about Rondo is he's so smart, so intelligent, can do his own thing and be such a high success. Is what he has to realize, and he has realized because he does it at spots, is, hey, the game has changed. We need you to score more to open it up for others. Even if it's not your passing, your threat of shooting. I don't care if you go 1 for 4 from 3. If you're open, you have to shoot it because it opens them. And that he saw that one game, he hit 4 or 5 threes, and we went crazy. That's for one. And then, yes, he's our second best playmaker with the ball. And so we want him to get into it. But if he shoots the ball more, it opens up more of a natural playmaking. We don't want to be over-dribbling, holding the ball. And he's had that freedom his whole career. It's just different. So I could see that, you look at him. But how I look at it is, hey, look, let it be through the flow of the offense. Let it be through it. And the thing about Rondo is his defense is so good when he's locked in that it opens up us getting out in transition more, which when we're out in transition, we're almost unguardable. And so we need Rondo to win the championship. We need him to play at a high level. We need Dwight Howard to play at a high level. We already know what LeBron and AD are going to do. It's our role players or certain things. And I always say, don't do more. Do exactly what you're supposed to do.
You could put that on a T-shirt. Right.
Yep.
Like
and we
that.
talked.
Yeah.
The conversation I'm having with you, me and Rondo talked about this. Hey, about us picking it up, us being more locked in, guys knowing the plays better. These are conversations we have, and we're just diving with you guys. But this is what captains hey, how do we get to the next level? How do we win the championship? And so the great teams think about this on a daily basis.
No, this is great. This is a sign of a team that's mature.
For sure.
You can confront, as we used to talk about this last year, Danny, the elephant in the room.
Yes.
And so when you can confront it.
Well, when you have captains behind the captains, it makes it easier too. You have so many guys with veteran experience, playoff experience, finals experience, and it makes it easier for everybody on the same page. We don't have a bunch of young guys where we have to try to teach them and groom them. We have very few. Everybody else knows what's at stake.
No, it's exciting to see. Lakers fans should be excited for the remainder of the season. Once again, appreciate you guys tuning in Inside the Green Room with Danny Green. That's Jared Dudley. Lakers #1 in the West, and hopefully for the rest of the season. Thanks for tuning in.